Hi guys, it's Tara and welcome to the October 2016 Curly Q&A. So first of all, I'm late. Sorry about that. I have been trying to sit down to film this video like for a week now because usually they come out the first weekend of a new month, but I just couldn't find the time, or frankly, I wasn't looking like, video ready. Which seems silly, but trust me, you guys don't want me in front of the camera when I'm not ready to be in front of the camera. So, um, anyway, I'm going to try to make this one not so super long like they have been in the past. I will tell you guys, it is 7:30 in the morning right now. It's before work. So I have a new work schedule, as I've mentioned a few times. I'm kind of beating you over the head with that, but I'm trying to adjust to make all of my extra time useful, which partially means time in the morning before I go to work. And so that's why like my camera's kind of wigging out a little bit because the lighting in here is super funky because it's like dreary and drab, not quite sun up morning outside, and I tried to put my lamp on, but it's making weird light, so my camera's just all kinds of confused. So I apologize if it's doing like zoomy effects. That's not something I'm doing on purpose. But anyhow, the advantage of 7:30 in the morning is you get fresh, ready for work Tara here instead of like after work, whatever's going on. So anyway, I'll do a quick catch up with me and then we'll dive into what's happening fun on the channel in October. There's going to be some really good stuff going on that I'm really excited about. And then just get to answering some of your questions that you left me on the September Curly Q&A video. So first, going on with me. Big thing I'm stoked about. This Thursday coming up, I'm going to see Maroon 5. Ooh, can't handle it. I'm really excited. So if that's not your kind of thing, like, I apologize, but I am just stoked. I'm going with some of my closest girlfriends. My sister's coming up to see it with us. It's going to be so much fun. My sister and I saw them a few years back, and it was one of the best concerts that I've ever seen live. So I'm really excited to go up to Portland and have like a girls' day, take a little time off work. And then bonus, my little sister gets to stay with me for the rest of the weekend, and we're going to hang out and catch up. She lives about 3.5 hours away. So it's not that we are so far that we can't see each other. It's just that life gets so busy, and you'd think, that you'd be able to just buzz up and down the highway more often, but it just is harder than you'd think. So I'm just really excited that she's gonna get to come up and spend the weekend with me, and kick it off with a super fun concert. I'll put on some of my fancy new LuLaRoe and like do my hair all pretty. It's just one of those fun things to do that I don't get to do super often. So I'm really excited about that. And then another thing that's going on in my life that's kind of a big deal is that my sister recently got married in April, and her new in-laws, her new family, her husband's family, fabulous group of people. And one of the things that they do every year is they do kind of a Biggest Loser like fitness competition, and they do it after the summertime to kind of get all your, summertime barbecue bellies gone. And so I decided this year to participate in that. So that started on October 22nd. And it runs through December 1st. So basically, I'm tired. I'm super tired, and I'm really hungry. But the thing that I really like about it is it's a 10-week challenge. You have a support group. We've got a group on Facebook with all of us that are doing it. Everybody's there for each other. Everybody knows that it's hard. And the goal is to get healthy. Like, obviously, you have to have some sort of measurement for that so that you can have the competition element of it, but the weight isn't what's important. It's that we're all just excited to be healthy and feel good, and I'm pretty stoked. So I've been doing it for a couple weeks. I'm feeling really good. I feel like I'm probably in better shape right now than I have been in the longest time because I'm like working out like a fiend. So it's just, that's exciting and fun, and I'll keep you guys posted on that as it continues. There's a really big grand prize, like cash money prize. So I'm pretty excited and motivated to actually like get on it and do all that stuff so that I can try to win that prize. But also just so I feel like, better. And I already feel better. So I'm pretty excited. So that's really what's going on with me. I mean, Halloween's coming. My kid's going to be Holtzman for Halloween, if you guys have seen the new Ghostbusters. I'm a huge Ghostbusters fan. You've probably picked up on that in some of my videos. I have a cat named Egon Spengler, but she's going to be Holtzman from the new Ghostbusters, so we ordered her little jumpsuit, and it's got the inflatable, like, proton pack, and I'm going to do her, like, crazy Holtzman hair. It's going to be super cute. So that's what's happening. That's what's happening in my world for the month of October. So let's see what's happening in the Curly Q's world for the month of October. Sorry, I see that my camera keeps wigging out. So again, so sorry. Couple fun things going on for October. So first of all, my Handmade Halloween series has started. I have one video up for that. I hope you guys like the new intro. I thought it was kind of fun. It's a little over the top, but hey, sometimes you got to go over the top, right? There's going to be a minimum of 5 videos for that. So I am in the process of getting the next couple filmed. And part of why I've kind of paused on that is because I have some other exciting stuff going on for this month. One of which is a collab with a fellow YouTuber who will be disclosed at a later date. And we're going to be doing a Halloween themed card. So basically we're exchanging backgrounds, and then we'll finish the card, and then each of us will have a video on our channels to feature the cards and the backgrounds made by the other YouTubers. So that'll be fun. So that'll be a Halloween card. So that'll be part of the video series. And then I have a guest designer spot this month that I am super excited about. It's for little blue button stamps. So I don't know if you guys have ever checked them out. You probably have because they're fabulous. But she does digital stamps. So it's a website where you can go and download the amazing, fabulous digital images. And she contacted me and asked if I would like to do a couple of projects for her for the month of October. So I'm super excited. So keep an eye out towards the middle and end of the month for those, for little blue button stamps. And I'll definitely be incorporating at least one of those projects into my Handmade Halloween series. So the goal for the Handmade Halloween series is that it's going to be done before Halloween. Now, not necessarily like super before. I know some people finish their like Halloween series like a couple weeks before Halloween so that you have time to like copy the cards if you want. I'm going to try my best, but I have my sister coming this weekend. I've got the Maroon 5 concert. So this week is a little bit busy, but there'll definitely be something up, don't get me wrong. But next week will be probably where you're going to get like the last like 3 of them, which should be a good week before Halloween. So fingers crossed. I'm really bad at sticking to these self-imposed deadlines. I try really, really hard, guys, I promise, but life just gets crazy, and unfortunately, this is the piece that I can wiggle around, you know? They don't let me at work just, like, wiggle around my schedule when life gets crazy, so, well, they do much better than other places that I've worked, so that's good. My camera totally just freaked out, so I'm gonna have to rewatch this, and hopefully it didn't ruin the whole video. So anyway, that's some of the exciting stuff that's happening on the channel this month. So Handmade Halloween, collabs with other creators, little blue button stamps, guest designer spot, and of course still some fabulous projects from my Al Studio Gerda Steiner Designs. So super excited about those. And then there's going to be a Destash coming. So on the topic of Destashes, guys, I need your guys' help. I posted a photo last night on my Instagram, Facebook, and just said Destash coming, and kind of asked. I'm trying to figure out a better way to do Destashes because I'll be 100% honest. The videos are super fun, and I kind of like the like mad chaos for like a day, but they kind of are just chaos. Like it's hard to keep track of the comments and who's claiming what and yada yada. But the video is definitely the way that I can reach the most people and give the most people the opportunity to have access to the Destash items. That being said, the videos have an issue also with like timing. For all of my fabulous international friends, it's really hard when I do something that is the evening where I'm at and it turns out it's like 3 in the morning where you are. And so it's just, I've basically determined that there's no good way to make it 100% fair for everybody. It's just, I will try my absolute hardest, but unfortunately, I just can't bend the time-space continuum in that fashion. But there are a couple of options. So I could keep doing videos, which this next one that I'm going to do is going to be a video because that's what I've done in the past. That's the norm. So this next Destash, which is going to be huge, like huge, and it's got tons of holiday stuff in it and all, so you're going to want to check it out. That one's going to be a video that's going to come out in the next couple of days, so keep an eye out for that. But going forward, after the video, I would like some feedback on how you guys would prefer to do destashes. So I could do them on Instagram and have a separate Instagram account for like Curly Q's Destash, and then just post the pictures and you would comment sold under the photo, and the photos could stay up and that sort of thing. So that's one option. I could do them on Facebook, where I'd make like, probably what I would do is create a separate Facebook group for destashing, and you could just join, and then I could create photo albums, and it would be similar where you could comment sold underneath the item that you'd like to claim. Kind of like if anybody buys LuLaRoe, kind of like the way LuLaRoe works. And so those are just, or I can keep doing videos if that's just the way that it works, and if that's, if that's how it goes, then that's how it goes. And so if you want to leave me a little bit of feedback below here in the comments, I would super appreciate that, just so I can kind of figure out what is going to be the best option for that. I mean, keeping in mind that I'm not going to be able to please everybody. I'm going to do my best, as always, but I'm not going to be able to make it perfect for everybody. But I want to hear some feedback. I want to try to make it as perfect for as many people as I can, right? So leave me that. But there is a massive destash coming in the next day or two via video, the same way we've always done them in the past, and that will be up shortly on my channel. So that's what's going on with Curly Q's. Let's talk about you guys. So you guys left me some fabulous questions in September. Thank you, as always, so much for all of your amazing feedback. I'm getting some really good feedback on this video series now that there's a few of these Q&As up. I'm hearing that people like them, so that's good. I'm hoping that they're useful for you guys, that you're learning something. Again, if you have any more specific questions on anything that I talk about, you can always shoot me an email, curlyqs@gmail.com. Or over on my blog, I have like a contact form that you can just fill out and send your question, and I will email back and forth with you. Anything that you'd like to ask, I'm pretty much an open book, and if you ask something that I don't want to answer, I just won't answer it. So don't hesitate if you have any sort of question to leave below, and then I will address them in my next Curly Q&A video. So make sure that you leave lots of yummy questions so that we have lots to talk about next month. So this month, first question I wanted to address is that I was asked what a good strategy is for completing the inside of your cards, and how to make it something easy and so that it's not like a huge burden to finish the inside of your card. First of all, thank you for asking me this. I feel very honored, especially considering I'm really bad about finishing the insides of my cards. I would highly, highly recommend Amy R. over at Prairie Paper and Ink, and I will link to her in the description box below if you're interested in the inside of cards, because Amy finishes like every single card on the inside, and it's amazing. It's dedication I do not have, I will give you that. However, when I do decide to do the inside of the card, I have found that the easiest thing to do is just that when I'm coloring and fussy cutting images, which I do for just about every card because I really love to color and fussy cut, I just do a couple extras and then I just stick them on the inside. So I tend to not like do really over the top inside of cards. I feel like the inside of the card is the space for the message, and then I'm going to write to my recipient. So on occasion I'll stamp a sentiment depending on what the sentiment is on the front of the card. So sometimes you get those really cool sentiments that go together, like they're designed to do like front and inside. So sometimes I'll do those. Every now and again I do a card design where I can't fit a sentiment on the outside, and so I'll pop it on the inside instead. But even if you don't have a sentiment on the inside, I think that's totally fine. You can throw in a couple. I tend to go bottom right corner. It's like where I will include some of the little extra images that I've cut and just kind of make them the same. I've also been had an idea a couple times where I've taken, like, if I stenciled the front of the card, I'll take the stencil and go on the inside and put just a little bit of the stenciling at the bottom, so it just kind of ties the front to the inside. So basically, I guess my tip for the inside of the card would be, don't get out a whole new technique just for the inside. Like, you want it to coordinate anyway. So something that you're already doing, something that you already have out on your desk, just pop that right on the inside, and that way it coordinates. It's no extra work for you. It's something that happens really quick. And then people get an awesome surprise when they open up the inside of your card too. So again, check out Amy R. at Prairie Paper and Ink. She does the inside of her card almost every time, and she's got some really great ideas for that. But for me, that's what I always do. Just something that I already have out, something that's not going to add to my workload, because let me tell you, that's not what I'm looking to do, and something that's just going to coordinate. So I hope that answered your question. If you have any more questions about that, just let me know. Moving right along, I was asked, what other crafts do I do? Like, am I a scrapbooker? Am I, a sewer? What do I do? Gosh, I wish I had time for all of the crafts. Like, as I'm sure that we all do. I'm not huge on Pinterest, honestly, which is probably not okay being a crafter, but I feel like Pinterest kind of drains me because there's so many things that I want to do, and then I get overwhelmed. But I do love all the things. And like, now that it's fall, I'm really wanting to do random fall, like I want to paint pumpkins and that sort of stuff. But the reality is I mainly make cards. I do occasional mixed media, which I have a couple videos up for that. And when I say occasional, I mean like once every few months. It's very occasional mixed media. And then I used to do a lot of like making picture frames and wooden signs and that sort of thing, but I don't do nearly as much of that anymore. Just because I found that it was just more expensive to do, because you have to kind of buy all the picture frame and the sign and all of that jazz. So I don't do nearly as much of that anymore. But on occasion I will bust that out. On occasion I will do like vinyl decals, or I'll make t-shirts. And I usually do that now more like on an order basis. Like, my husband knows that I can do that, so he'll ask me for his school theater program, like to put the names of the kids' characters on the back of their play shirts and stuff. And so I'll do that for him. But I don't do it nearly as often as I used to. I used to really be into like 3D paper projects. Like, I made all kinds of like on top of my shelf over here, I have a giant 3D like haunted house. Like, SVG cuts was huge for a while. Again, I don't do much of that anymore either. I have a sewing machine, and I've made like an apron and 2 pillowcases. So, hey, I've got that skill under my hat when I need it. The one other craft that I really do consistently, I think, is cross stitch. I do cross stitch. I don't do any super amazing fancy cross stitch, but I like to sit and just like while I'm watching TV or something, like do a cross stitch. But card making is my main craft. I've never gotten into scrapbooking. I really, really want to. I've bought the stuff to do it, and I love having photos and all of that, but something about the 12 by 12 page just intimidates the heck out of me. And I know that I can do it smaller, so I've bought like 6 by 8 scrapbooks, and I've bought pocket scrapbooks, and I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just can't quite get myself to scrapbook. But I admire the heck out of people that scrapbook. I think that it's amazing and beautiful, and I wish that I could do it, and maybe someday. But anyway, so that's my little spiel on how I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. Like I said, card making has kind of taken the priority, but I do dabble in some of these others on occasion, and I've done some mixed media videos, and who knows, I may throw some videos up on occasion of some random, totally unrelated crafts, but for now, probably you're going to get cards from me 92% of the time. So, final question is that I had a couple questions this time on what if I am a newbie with Copics? What do I do? What colors do I get? How do I start? All that good stuff. So, Copics are an investment. So, when you're starting out, my advice would be to start small. It depends on what you're wanting to do with them. If you're wanting to color all one color and you're just wanting the smooth alcohol ink blended look, then maybe grab a small handful of some of your favorite colors, depending on what types of things you like to color. If you're coloring flowers and critters and like whimsical stuff all the time, then maybe you can get some like rainbowy colors. But if you're wanting to do like people, hair, etc., then obviously you're going to want to go with more skin tones, browns, hair colors, that sort of thing. But if you're wanting the one color look, which is beautiful, I mean, Copics color beautiful, just one layer of one color, then you could try some different colors. If you're wanting to try your hand at the shading, which is what I wanted to do when I got into Copics, I tried to resist forever because of the price tag. I was just like, there's no way I can get into this hobby. Like, this is ridiculous. But I couldn't resist. I love to color. It's my absolute favorite. So what I started with was Copic puts out sets of their own, And while yes, you could dive in and get like a whole like 72 crazy investment set, I went with a Copic set that I believe came with 6 markers, and they were all shades of blue green. So I just found a set that was colors that I thought that I would use, that I thought that I would like. And the point of their sets like that with the few markers is that they all are in the same color family and blend together pretty well. So I started out with these 6 blue-green Copics, and I believe I had like a 40% off coupon at Hobby Lobby or something. So I got the 6 markers for like $20, which was pretty darn good. And I just practiced. I made little blue-green lawn fawn monsters for like weeks. It was ridiculous. And then I finally, once I figured out, like, okay, I can do this, I can blend with these things, I started slowly accumulating other colors, but I started with all the packs. So I didn't branch out and start buying individual colors until I felt like I had exhausted all of my pre-packaged Copic options, just because I didn't trust myself to pick colors that would blend together. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't go pick your own colors and blend them together. The Sandy Allnock Copic Hex Chart is a fabulous resource and tool, and I will link to that below, as well as Sandy's channel, because she is a Copic extraordinaire, and she, I feel like, has really great tips for people who are wanting to get into Copics, no matter what level of Copic skill you're at. And so, you could use that hex chart to figure out like kind of what colors coordinate and kind of go get your own. And that's where I'm at now. Like now that I have my sets, I have a good chunk of a collection. I do it that way. But the other thing I've kind of learned is that I have not yet, I think maybe in my collection of 70 Copic markers, I've paid full price for like 2 of them. I'm typically able to find sales or use coupons. And so just know that that's an option, that's, you know, you don't, if you're intimidated by the price tag of Copics, which it's an intimidating price tag, so, you know, that would not be a weird thing to have a reaction that way. But you can usually find good sales. I've gotten quite a few at like Ellen Hudson LLC on sale. I use coupons at Hobby Lobby. I've been able to use coupons at Michael's. And so I'm sure there's, you know, you could go online, and I know there's always like sales and such, so it's easy to find them for less than retail. So if that's something that's concerning you, but if you're brand new, you don't own a single Copic, first of all, I would say decide what your goal is. Are you wanting to do lots of fun shading, or are you wanting to do lots of fun solid color? And then determine from there kind of how you want to start your collection. I do think that if you're going to do shading, you should probably start with at least 2 to 3 markers in the same color family. Pick a color that you'll use a lot. Like if you're a pink person, get a few shades of pink. If, you know, like just do something that you can incorporate a lot of. I think that you can probably do some pretty decent shading with 2 markers, especially because you can do the tip to tip technique. So if you got like maybe 2 pinks and 2 greens, you could do some really beautiful florals, that sort of thing. So start small, see if you like it. Most things, like with the zigs, I recommend like the 60 pack, because it's the best you're gonna get the best price point per pen, and frankly I feel like the price point's low enough that it's 100% worth it. Copics are such a huge investment that I'm not a huge advocate for going all in, because if you end up not enjoying Copic coloring or something like that, like that's a lot of money to invest if it's something that you're not going to end up loving. So start small, grab yourself a few, just see how you like it going on the paper. Oh, and get the right paper. That's the other thing. I use Nina 110 pound solar white cardstock, which I have linked over at my blog, and I'll link to my my like favorites page on my blog, where I list a bunch of the stuff that I just have to have in my craft room. And I get it on Amazon. I get a ream of the 110 pound index for like $10. It's awesome. It's the best way to go. And I find that it works fabulous with my Copics. It's my absolute favorite Copic paper. I've tried specific papers made for Copics, and I haven't had as much luck. For me personally, I know that there are other people who love different papers for Copics, but for me, it's all about the Nina. It's all about the Nina. So make sure you have a good paper, because you can't just, you can't get the same look with Copics just like on copy paper or super inexpensive cardstock. So just set yourself up for success. You know, have some good paper. I promise you won't regret the Nina investment because you'll use it for a gajillion million things anyway. But yeah, so just grab a couple to start, and then grab yourself some Nina, and grab yourself your favorite adorable image to color, and go to town. And let me know how you like it, or if you have any more questions or anything like that. So those were your amazing questions for this week, guys. I can't wait to hear from you and see what kind of feedback you have on the Destash and see what kind of questions you have for next time. Don't forget that if you have anything that you want me to see that's inspired by curly cues that you just think I would think was awesome, use hashtag curly cues on your photos on social media and I will check those out. I always love talking to you guys and I can't wait to see you next time. Thanks. Bye.